Hey Raj, welcome to another podcast.
Ray, always nice talking to you. So thank you for having me here. Thank you.
Well, I wouldn't say nice because we don't know what I'm going to ask you yet. So who knows if I'm going to be nice or tough for you now, but I actually appreciate you joining again. So what I wanted to
Thank
do
you.
for this podcast, I hear that from a Juniper perspective, you continue to focus on innovation and finding creative ways to add value, to your customers. One of the things I want to understand is I've heard about this Beyond Labs, and I want to find out a little bit about what it is, right? And if you could tell our audience about why you're introducing this particular product at this time.
So I think, as you know, Ray, Juniper is rooted in innovation. Started by taking on an incumbent by doing a completely new stuff for routing area. Now, last few years, we have evolved into multiple new areas such as enterprise, data center, AI, ML-driven network automation, and so on. So Juniper Beyond Labs is our effort to organize our innovation activities that span new products. We do partnerships. We have partnership with academia and research community. And also we are beginning to do collaboration with other entities in the industry in the context of network as a service and so on. So idea is to bring all those efforts under one umbrella so we can communicate with the customers when they come to our EBC or we go talk to them or in other areas, uh, highlight what innovation we are doing to bring networking industry forward in new areas.
Mhm.
That's really the goal.
Yeah, and the focus, is it more for service providers, enterprise, or interoperability? I mean, who's the main target audience that would use this?
That's a very good question. So I think no, focus is not on a particular segment. It's really the all of the segments we
Okay.
address. More focus is on making sure that we try to push the boundaries of innovation in networking in all areas. So spanning AI/ML driven network automation, utilization, 5G, all the areas are open to that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Quantum
no, I think
networking is one thing I'm pursuing right now.
Yeah, I think this is great because I think in a lot of cases where we go with the customers is, what problem are you trying to solve and address and stuff like that. But what are the different technology areas that are going to be, that customers can leverage within the lab there?
That's another good question because there are various areas we're looking at. Some things are further out. Let's take example
Mm-hmm.
of quantum network. It's about 5 years out, right? The quantum
Mm-hmm.
computing has made a lot of progress. So go that far out, but then also look at something out 3 years from now. So generative AI has created a lot of interest in terms of how do we apply it to networking products, but as well as how we deliver customer service, customer support, and so on. So that's another area, which is extension of our AI-driven enterprise thing we are already doing, and which is in the Magic Quadrant of Gartner. Then other areas include stuff such as the virtualization, network as a service 2.0. The way we understand network as a service is very different today, more of a consumption-based model, where
Mm-hmm.
our vision is to take network as a service. So many such areas we are going to try to address.
Yeah, no, I think this is good. I think one of the areas when you talk about network as a service or even automation and AI, I think some of the challenge that I hear from customers, and you tell me if you agree or not, is where do I get started, right?
That's it.
What are the insertion points? And potentially you're saying this could help solve an issue associated with that. So that's more
That's
than
right.
just interoperability. Then also plan about where the future is going and get a better direction from an innovative part and give them visibility. So does that help reduce the risk of as part of the lab to help these customers say not only it's about where these innovations are going, but reduce the risk of innovation, correct? Is that a key part of it?
That's right. That's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
so
That's a
I
very good point you're making because if you look
yeah.
at, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say
Go
I
ahead, Ray.
think when I look at innovation, usually what I hear from customers when I talk about whether it's AI, right, or automation is I need to get some guidance on where my insertion points are, right?
Right.
How to get started because in many cases I see way too many silos of automation, right? And people aren't maximizing their capabilities of how automation should be deployed. So is this a key part of the lab that addresses some of that?
That's right. So I'll give you an example. So let me
Hmm.
step back, right? Our true north is experience first networking. We want to deliver
Hmm.
to customers, which are network engineers, and their customers, which are the network users, really truly experience first networking. That is focused on making the experience as simplified as possible. You brought up a very good point. The automation is siloed from one domain to another. We came up with this vision of end-to-end assurance across the
Okay.
domain. End-to-end assurance means that your network should just work, no matter even if it's spanning from a data center or campus branch to edge to the transport network environment to the cloud, right? So the where Juniper Beyond Labs helps is that to get to customers to a comfort level, we'll bring them into our different centers in Westford, Mass, or Bangalore, or Sunnyvale, and we will show them the actual working prototypes of end-to-end assurance working
Mm.
across, and they can try to they can take some of those back to their the install base and try those out. So we sort of raise the level of comfort with respect to such a
Yeah.
new idea. That's the purpose of it.
Now, Raj, this is great. Actually, this is pretty exciting now. One of the things though is you can't do this alone, right? And customers aren't silo from a vendor perspective. What is the ecosystem environment, and what are some of the things that excite you about this Beyond Lab?
So that's an excellent point, right? We cannot do this alone, and customers cannot do it alone. And there's a whole big ecosystem around us which we can take advantage of, and we are very good at that. So Juniper Beyond Labs also believes in building partnerships and collaboration with multiple ecosystem players. For example, we are now sponsoring research in academia. So some of the further out ideas can be brought into Juniper Beyond Labs, and our engineers can start collaborating with universities. So we have funded research at, for example, Stanford, Purdue University, and so on, right? The other thing we are doing is industry players. There are much larger industry players in the ecosystem who are very complementary to our goals. So, for example, we have a strong partnership with Intel, with Dell. And in the area of quantum networking, for example, as I told you, we are also partnering with a startup in UK, which was a pioneer in bringing quantum networking, at least entanglement concept to networking. And we are using that in our quantum key distribution. So the idea is to build a strong ecosystem of partnership. So we emphasize collaboration across the industry.
I got it. Yeah, no, I got it. I think so. So it's more than just risk reduction, right? It's also the opportunity. There's some cost savings there as well, where the potential customer doesn't have to invest in this expensive type testing environment or innovative lab for that, right? Now, if we look at from a Juniper perspective, there's a lot of other companies that have labs and they've done testing for some time. How is it that Juniper's different than everybody else in the market there?
That's good. So I think a lot of the times when we do labs and testing, it's about the current product portfolio. What is out there? What is shipping on the truck? What we are saying is that's not enough. Juniper Beyond Labs is saying, let's take one step further out. Let's look at 2 years out, 3 years out, 5 years out, say what is possible. And looking at the art of possible, try to convert that into actual prototypes and demos that people can try, get their hands on. I'll give one concrete example. Quantum computing is, people say, 5 years out. Quantum networking, where we apply quantum computing, is one of the applications people are interested in. What we did recently, and I'm very proud of that, we basically looked at the problem of key distribution. When you have IPsec like protocol, you have symmetric key distribution, and it's prone to man in the middle of attack. But if you use quantum entanglement, you can do key distribution of exchange without anybody coming in the middle. That's a pretty secure thing. We have actually implemented that, working with a startup which has the technology available for that. And now, actually, you will not believe that we will be actually selling it with our IPsec MACsec product, this
Nice.
quantum distribution. So it's not just looking further, but saying that how can we bring future here and make it possible, at least in incremental steps, so customers feel comfortable.
No, okay. Yeah, no, I think this is good. I mean, I think it's a step in the right direction. I'm glad that Juniper's thinking about its customers, reducing risk, reducing costs of testing this innovation. Where do you see this going though, down the road? Because I know what part of your job is to think 3, 5, 10 years, and I know that's a difficult thing to do, but this is a good step in addressing the two, I think, important things: identifying where to implement innovation, reducing the risk, actually a third one, and reducing the cost of getting that information. But where do you see this going next in that perspective?
So I give you two areas where we are.
Mm.
I'm really excited. One is, you saw a lot of, and you are the expert. You can tell us, generative
Mhm.
AI generated a lot
Yeah.
of buzz, right? But it's not magic. It's subject to hallucination. Human being is in the loop. We have an
Yeah.
advantage with AI-driven operations we do for enterprises. We are already
Mhm.
using conversational interface. We are already using machine learning to self-resolve troubleshooting tickets, doing self-healing. Now apply generative AI to that, and I see a big inflection point with respect to taking a step up in terms of how you deliver customer service or customer experience. So, for example, if you want to configure BGP peering or
Mhm.
MPLS circuit or do any of the complicated things that the WAN operator has to do, we can simply have a chat GPT based interface now, which says,
Mhm.
this is my intent, express simply natural language, and underneath we implement it automatically. That's something I am trying to push it right now very quickly because the field is evolving very quickly. Second one I mentioned in Network as a Service 2.0, I call it.
Okay.
Network as a Service 1.0 is out there. It's mostly pay-as-you-go model, but that's not
Mhm.
enough. Imagine that if you are a network engineer and you want to do an end-to-end virtual network from on-prem to the public cloud to test out
Mhm.
a new feature or test out something, new ideas without disturbing the production network. Network as a Service 2.0 could automatically set up such a virtual network, overlay network
Mhm.
for you and make it available so you can start playing with it.
Wow.
That sort of things we want to bring together by using Juniper Beyond Labs. That way we get to experiment, but also get to show people what they can try out.
Right. Yeah. Basically, maybe close with is when we look at customers and from that perspective is are you able to provide remote access and or is it has to be on premise type testing and stuff like that?
Oh, so the Juniper Beyond Labs is both about using public cloud because that
Right.
provides a quick way to try things out. So we want to
Right.
provide both ability for you to take our innovation prototypes, try them
Hmm.
out either in the on-prem, in a colo provider like Equinix or
Hmm.
Megaport, or in the public cloud. Because a
Right.
lot
Okay.
of innovation now you can do using public clouds and show it off. So all three are possible.
Good. Awesome. Well, I think that addresses all my questions, Raj. Thanks for joining the Deep Edge podcast.
No, thank you, Ray. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. So
Yeah, and
thanks for the
hopefully you could
opportunity.
join again because I want to hear how the progress of this is going.
Sure. Look forward to it.
All right, till next time.
Thanks.